Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that's so clear about you, Karen, is that there is a direct line between your work and your relationship with God, and that comes through regardless of what the subject matter is. It could be a piece that's about a biblical story, or it can just be about an experience, but it's all the same. It's all coming from the same place for you. You're a model to me for how that works, that integration of artistic integrity and spiritual depth and spiritual commitment in who you are.
Well, thank you. He's been, when I was a secular artist, I couldn't stay interested in the art long enough to get engaged to continue to work. I could perform, but when I started to do these pieces, and God called me to do sculpture out of painting. I was a painter. I thought I was a painter. And I've told this story too many times, but
Oh, tell it.
I had a dream that I was in heaven and God was showing me my artwork. And I said, damn, I'm good. And the dream ended. I got thrown out of heaven on pride and profanity. But I knew then that I was supposed to do sculpture. My artwork was sculpture. He was showing me sculpture, not paintings. But my best painting, and then, okay, did that story make any sense to you?
Yeah.
So then I'm in church one day and I get this picture of this corridor, and on the right side is the best painting I ever did. And on the left side, there's a cracked door. And I knew from the quality of the light, it was the room where my sculptures were in heaven. And I said, Cal, we have to clean out the basement. We've got to clean out some part in the basement I'm supposed to sculpt. And I did.
Wow.
And it's always been a voice that keeps me interested in art. It's always been, he has made it so much more interesting than just performing, reproducing reality, even as, what's that expression? Art as itself. Art has a right to exist as an object without, if it's buried in the ground for 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000, well, okay, thousands of years, and you find it and you have no idea what it's about. If it needs to be that strong an object. It needs to be beautiful, right? That's true. That's all I knew about from art school. I didn't know, especially in those days, went to art school in the 70s. I didn't know that art was also about expression and that you could think with it. That it is a way to form ideas. It is a way to express things that have not been said before. Dialogue with condemnation was not done on a pulpit.
Right.
So it's like dreams, I think. It's like I'm making dreams that kind of God gives me.
Yeah,
I don't want to,
go ahead.
I don't want to make it too like woo-woo, you know. It's also just me relating to my world. And I think that's a really important part of it too. And that is that everything doesn't have to be religious. Everything doesn't have to be like a Bible story. There was a time I was doing this love piece that used to be at Convergence, but it's traveled. But it was based on Sonnet 44, Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poem, dedication poem for Songs of the Portuguese, which she wrote while she was in love with her husband. And that's a great story if you ever want to look it up. It's a very romantic story. And the poem is very beautiful. And I built a 6-foot piece about it. And I'm like, God, like, this is about love. Like, is this okay? And I I actually asked that question, which embarrasses me, but I did ask it, but I was already building the piece, so I wasn't that far gone. And I felt like he said to me that I'm salt and light because he's in me. I don't have to be doing everything about him in a, tedious way. That just because he's in me, the grid through which I see the world is his. And I'm refreshing. My work will refresh or challenge or do whatever, but it will come, it'll reflect the Holy Spirit that so thoroughly is like part of my life. So don't worry. We don't have to be dogmatic. We can tell a love story. We can sing a love song. And we're witnessing God in our generation. We're evidence that God lived in our time with the art that we produce.